Hey, welcome to the DanjA Zone. It's Ashli. Everything in this video can be found on a public domain, and the full disclaimers down below. I wish you lots of love and many blessings your way. And thank you, JC. You're too sweet. So as you probably know, over the weekend a lot of nastiness has come out. We'll get to that in just a minute, but for the moment, let's talk about what's going on right now. Harry just filed a legal warning against the Mail on Sunday, accusing the Mail on Sunday of publishing false and defamatory stories. That's a complete joke. I thought this cannot be true. You know, self-harm or sabotaging yourself in any way is a true mental illness, and it seems like he is absolutely a prime candidate for that medical diagnosis. However, I'm not a doctor and I'm not claiming he has it, but it sure seems like it. This is not made up stuff that the Mail on Sunday decided to publish on a whim. This is straight from the horse's mouth. Major General Julian Thompson said this. I'm not trying to give him a lecture, but he has to take the job seriously and not just say, well, I'm still the Captain General and I'm going to live my life in LA and never visit the UK. It's wrong. You can't do that. He's expected to attend all the events and be around and be accessible as his grandfather was. And that's a direct quote from Julian Thompson. So is he going to pass him out a legal warning too? And General Dannett's the one that started this. He's the one that confessed, hey, I've tried contacting him by phone several times, so I broke down and wrote him a letter, and he's done nothing but ignore me. He can't just abandon his post. In fact, the quote is, he issued him an extraordinary appeal to please come home and take care of your responsibilities in the military. You know, as an outsider looking in, I've always said, it's always been my opinion, that Harry never took his military career any kind of serious. Almost like a little boy playing dress up, like army men or something. And a British friend of mine confirmed that. She told me that his grandmother had medals made up for him and stuck them on his chest. He never earned them. And because of special perks like that, he's never taken it serious. It isn't serious to him. He's never had to go out and fight. I don't believe he ever did. I don't care what pictures they show. I don't care what tales they tell. I do not believe he was ever in combat. If they live by a rule sheet of do's and don'ts, if they can't eat shellfish in certain places or at all, and they can't fly together, what makes me think they gonna send anybody that's in the line, I don't care if he's 6th or 16th, out into the middle of combat. It's not gonna happen. I believe they've absolutely pull the wool over everybody's eyes. That's just my opinion. Just like Harry's trying to do right now, saying that if it hadn't been for his wife and living a day in her shoes, he wouldn't be as woke as he is today. He's claiming that if it had not been for him running with Meghan all of this time, he would have never seen firsthand all the racial injustices that are out here in the world. He knows dang well the racial injustices that are out there in the world because he was a part of it. So I really don't care what he has to say, he's a joke. And as far as all the racial injustice that his wife has gone through, she's never even identified as a biracial woman up until it benefited the agenda that they're running with. She takes privilege to a whole nother level, and she's always lived that way. How many people do you know in your life that sit around in $300,000 outfits, wearing $700 lipsticks with the feet propped up, waiting to hop on the next flight to paradise? Not even claiming her African American roots. I've never heard her say anything positive or negative one way or the other about her mother's side of the family, ever. And she's never really brought her mama out until it benefited what they're doing. And this is an agenda. That's all it is. So keep being her little puppet, Harry. It suits you very well. So in light of everything that's been spilling out by the tons over the weekend, this has always felt sort of awkward and forced and rushed and totally unnatural to me, the entire relationship. and I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. Maybe it would have felt different to me had they ran off searching for their privacy, lived a quiet life happily ever after with their family, but it's not been that way at all. From the very beginning, it's all seemed a little strange. When she was talking about the dish soap company that she wrote, they had to include Hillary Clinton. Oh, I contacted her too. That piece of the story always felt like it just stuck out like a sore thumb. It was unnecessary to include, in my opinion. Let's not forget what Thomas Markle said in his very first interview. Oh, Harry told me, give Trump a chance. That was unnecessary. Why? So he could share his political views? His distaste for Trump? It made no sense to me. What about the first interview with Samantha? She said she was going to write a book, and it was going to be focused not so much on everything Meghan per se, but all of the racial injustices surrounding Meghan. It made no sense to me then. It was almost like they were trying to whack the hornet's nest and stir it up. And it's like when they seen none of that crap they were trying to stir up was catching anybody's attention, they went to plan B, which was a family fight in the middle of the open, airing all of their dirty laundry. And it became so nasty and so loud that it caught all of our attention. I mean, how else would you explain her sister in 2017 saying she's going to write a book about every negative racial thing that Meghan's had to go through, and then turn around 3 years later and say, oh, it's a stretch. She's never had to fight any racial battles. It doesn't make sense, y'all. Something is up. We'd have to be crazy to think they don't have somebody behind the scenes controlling every move they make. I guess it's a matter of finding out who is it. Is it the same bunch of people that tried to infiltrate the royal family earlier? Those same people that made it through and was actually taking pictures with each member of the family? Who started it? Was this Meghan's bright idea, or was this Harry's? Who knows? While the lies and the cover-ups and the stories, the agendas, it just doesn't add up. Back in November of 2019, they announced to the entire world, unnecessarily, that they weren't spending Christmas with the royals. They were going to spend the holidays with her family, Doria, but they left out the fact that they went and spent time at the Clooney's villa over in Italy, along with a lot of other political figures. And it has since leaked out that was nothing more than a secret meeting with politicians. What in the world did they have to do with anything political back then? I found that totally strange. Just like I found it strange that even before Meghan and Harry ever hooked up, ever started dating, she was posting her opinions on Instagram all about Brexit. How did she have any sort of skin in the game? It should have been none of her business. And another thing I always found strange was her stalkish behavior. She seemed to always be near Harry or one of his people, somebody from his circle. It never made sense to me. So she finally reels him in with her roasted chicken skills, and it's downhill from there with a quickness, costing the royal taxpayer $40 million just for a wedding. To date, they've spent right at $100 million. That's a mighty lot of money for such a short period of time. Not only have they dumped on all the royal family members, the royal family as an entire whole has been dumped on by these two, but they've dumped on the entire UK taxpaying system. Everything they've done has been so deliberate. It's like they are deliberately trying to cause nothing but problems, just like she deliberately looks into the camera every chance she gets. She's been in the business long enough, whether she's an A-lister or a D-lister, she's been in the business long enough to know you don't look directly into the camera unless you mean to. Is she trying to give a message to somebody? It makes me wonder. And just exactly like the pregnancy, with all the money they had, they couldn't make that look more authentic and genuine. It was deliberately made to look fake, in my opinion. Truly. Now, what's the madness behind that? I don't understand. Was it to deliberately humiliate and embarrass the royal family, or just Harry? Was it to make the royal family look shady for when the truth finally does come out that she's never been pregnant by Harry? they're gonna look weak as all get out because they've lied and covered up for her. Were they blackmailed into going along with this? It makes you wonder what's really going on. This is all too shady in my opinion. Something's not right. It's just so weird to me, y'all. I had to share it with you. I hope you're having a really good day today. I'll see you soon and we'll talk fast. Y'all please stay safe and be blessed.